President Trump, this message is for you. I'm kind of getting sick and tired of you going up on stage on TV and telling us that we're living the best economy. That is America. Like, what world are you living in? Us people, we don't have the type of money that you have. We had to literally count every dime we make to make sure that we can afford our bills. Most people are working multiple jobs to be able to afford this economy that's so great in your eyes. Like, gas prices are going up. Food goes up all the time. We can't survive. We're living off of peanut butter and fucking jelly sandwiches. But yet the economy is so great, right? But yet the bank system just released that there's so many houses that can be foreclosed on that they don't have enough people to fill those houses because people can't afford to buy a fucking house, a roof over their head. There's people living in their fucking cars and they work their asses off and they can't even afford a fucking roof over their head. But yet we're living the best economy. So who are you trying to manipulate? Who are you trying to gaslight into believing this? Because if you don't think that we have not woken up and that we don't see through your guys' bullshit, you do not represent us. You are not for the people. You lied to us. You lied. It is not America first. We are not the greatest, and we have not been the greatest for a very long time. And people are getting sick and tired of being Uncle Sam's fucking slave. We are tired of our hard-earned money going to fucking Israel to kill kids and use kids as target practice. Like, what is wrong with you? How do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? Knowing what you've done. Knowing that you fucked up the economy worse than Sleepy Joe and Camel Toe Harris. We are getting the fuck out of here. Americans are waking up. So many people are leaving this country because it's so much better everywhere else. We are the third world country disguised with freedom. That's what's going on here. We're tired. We're exhausted. And you failed.
I don't regret my vote for Donald Trump. I don't regret it at all because I understand what the alternative might have been. I understand that the alternative would have been an acceleration of what was going on under the Biden years to the point where we're in the same position as Ireland and England, only on steroids. But am I disappointed? Yeah. I'm really disappointed. We haven't seen any arrests. Nobody's held accountable. Billions upon billions, if not trillions of dollars in fraud, completely ignored. Nobody held accountable for any of that. The biggest obstacle to prosperity at every single turn in the United States of America is the United States federal government. And we've got a president right now who 77 million of us freaking voted for while being called every single demonic name in the book and just took it on the chin and still dropped our vote in the ballot box for him. And we are being completely left out in the cold. Yeah, we had the big, beautiful bill. So what? Big whoop. The cost of living is still out of control. And the focus of this federal government right now is over in the Middle East once again. What's it going to take for us to freaking get through to the people in our federal government? And yes, Donald J. Trump, that we don't want to be involved in the Middle East anymore. We want domestic policy to be the focus of your effort. Taxation and cost of living. Taxation and cost of living. Taxation and cost of living. That is where we need your focus to be. Not Iran, not Israel. The hell with Israel. To hell with Iran, to hell with Palestine. Let them sort themselves out. They have military-aged males in each one of those countries that can fight their own battles. It's not our responsibility. Lower taxes, lower cost of living, and turn your focus completely inward to domestic policy, or you are going to lose in the midterms, and we are not going to have a Republican president in 2028, and we won't deserve to. Pull your head out of your ass and represent the people that put you there.
I thought Trump was going to fight for us. I thought the new regime was going to be about the people and the middle class, and they're not. It's the same government elite.
Well, they were warned. They refused to listen to the educated black lady who had all the answers to an open book test. They had the information, they had the evidence, but they still chose the wrong answer. Now they realize that they played themselves.
This is how it went.
We voting Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving.
And this is how it's going now.
What are you doing? Getting rid of it. Done. Wow, what do you mean you're done? You're done with him? Whoa, you're done with him?
Miss Ultra MAGA, okay, is now saying that we were scammed. She even put it at the bottom of that video I just showed you. We were scammed. And this is the perfect representation of the Trump administration. You have all of these voters fleeing MAGA, saying, hey, you know, I know we voted for everything to affect everyone else, but now it's affecting us. And as a result, we'd like to acknowledge we were scammed, and we're going to go ahead and take those Trump flags down. Yeah, I am glad that these people are admitting that they're wrong. I'm glad that they're taking down the flags. That is an awesome thing. But at the same time, you have to go further. You have to get to a point where you realize that, like, I don't even ask you to become a Democrat, but MAGA Republicans have completely ruined politics. The Republican Party is gone because of these people, because of people like her who chose to support this. So if you're denouncing Trump, that's awesome, but you need if you're not going to vote blue, okay, whatever, but at least build back a respectable Republican Party, because what you guys have right now is trash, and it's because of people like her.
Trump's tax bill was just released, and guess what? It doesn't include no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, and no taxes on Social Security. So just another thing he lied to you about so he could get tax cuts for his rich friends.
How the fuck are people still voting Republican? Like, how can you look at the most openly corrupt administration in American history playing in our faces and be like, yes, I would like some more of this, more of the same, please. It's like if I asked you, hey, what would you rather do? Shit in your hands and clap or not shit in your hands and clap? What would you rather do? And people have the audacity to be like, you know what? Sell me on not shitting in my hands and clapping. What would that look like? Tell me about not shitting in my hands and clapping. I'd like to be convinced. Okay, well, you wouldn't have to shit in your hands and clap in front of your face. You wouldn't get shit all over your face. Yeah, I don't know, because this guy, this pathological liar who's been a professional con man his whole life, he told me that shitting in your hands and clapping is actually not that bad. It's actually tough guy alpha males shitting their hands and clap. So I'm thinking about shitting in my hands and clapping. I think that would be good for me. I'm just going to continue to shit in my fucking hands and clap in front of my face. Jesus, you people.
Stop voting Republican. That's the only way that these Republican politicians will stop with their freaking wars, stop with their corruption, stop with their lies, is if they lose an election after an election after an election. There's one language that these politicians understand, and it's power. And once they lose power, they'll do whatever they need to do to get back into power. And hopefully, once they get back into power, they actually focus on us instead of protecting the people who went to Pedo Island. Instead of protecting all these freaking billionaires who hung out with Jeff Epstein. I'm tired of the wars. I'm tired of the government corruption. I'm tired of the lies. These people need to lose in 28, the election after that, and the election after that. George W. Bush and Donald Trump are the exact same person. Just like J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio will be the exact same neocon, warmongering, criminal liars. Don't believe the lie that they're different. Just like Trump was different. He ain't different.
Here's my question to the American people. Who wants Trump impeached? Like, who is fed up with this? I want to know. I want to know in your comments. I want this to get around to your friends and family. Who is sick and tired of being sick and tired of a man that does not put the American people first, who does not care about what happens to us? And I'm tired of seeing all these MAGA freaks out there sitting here saying, I'm proud of my president. What are you proud of? Let me know. Find me. Send this to one of your MAGA friends. Let me know what you're proud of. You're proud of a man who has destroyed this country piece by piece, and he's not even a solid year into this thing, and we're already in turmoil, fuel prices up, inflation up, a war going on he can't get rid of, when he sit there and promised us that there'd be no war, cheapest gas in the last 100 years, we would have all these promises, and now you've turned around and you voted for this man that promised us this, but now you people out there also have the nerve to sit here and say, I love my presidents. Are you okay? Let me just ask you again, are you okay? Because that's not smart up here to sit there and say, oh, that's my president, boys. And this man ripping us off every time we turn around, and he's over here making hundreds of millions of dollars of personal income while you're still struggling at the pump because you're just as broke as the next person. But you're still supporting this man. Have some common sense, America.
The funniest thing is that Trump voters were warned before the election, during the campaign, and they were told to look at Trump's first term. They were told to look beyond the speeches, beyond the slogans, beyond the rallies, and the promises. But many of them did not want to listen. They convinced themselves that his promises of cheaper groceries and gas, more jobs, and relief for the middle class will be realistic. But everyone now is paying the price for the rising cost of living. But the uncomfortable truth is that they had access to the same information as everyone had. They could have looked at Trump's first term. They could have looked at his policies. They could have listened to economists, but many decided that they already had the answer. Kamala Harris pointed out clearly all the plans that Trump had, but they didn't want to listen to her. Instead, they mocked her and they said that she got some weird laugh, They questioned her personality and turned her into a joke. But if someone is giving you information about what could happen to your own life and to your own family, at least pay attention, because elections are not comedy show. They are not about who can insult the other side the hardest. They are about who gets to make decision about your paycheck, about your healthcare, about your children, about your housing, about your food, and your future, you see? But it's easy to support a policy when you believe that policy is going to hurt someone else. But when it reaches you personally, that's when people start paying attention, you see? But they never cared when those same policies would have hurt other people. And that's why many people say that many MAGA voters, they lacked empathy for others, but they're not complaining when it's affecting them. So I hope they're learning something. So thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.